Hey guys, welcome back to MMA Library. Today in MMA and UFC news, Israel Adesanya claims Alex Pereira would have been exposed a long time ago had it not been for him. Here's the clip.
I think it's a weird one. I think, to be honest, when you see someone that you beat so much better than you, of course you're gonna feel a way. You'd be like, man, his ego would be like, I'm better than this guy. So that definitely would have motivated him to try and get to MMA. But again, without me, he wouldn't be where he's at. He would have got exposed a long time ago. I carved an easy path for him to this. And I'm happy for this opportunity. I'm happy for this opportunity to prove how great I am. Because a lot of people don't get this opportunity in life. And this is for me, like, I think people might, 4-0, whatever, he's gonna beat this and that. What if I beat him? What if I beat him better than he's ever beat? Worse than ever. What then? What does that say about me? What does that say about him? So it's that opportunity to really create history, and I'm excited for it today.
Khabib Nurmagomedov reveals in an Instagram post he's planning to return to competition in July. Khabib posted, "July, I have to be ready, not MMA." Khamzat Chimaev blasted the UFC's welterweight division during a recent Twitter rant. It all began with Khamzat responding to comments made by Alex Pereira. Well, this week I'm obviously focused on Israel, but talk about Whitaker and Paulo Costa, I know they want to fight me. They were never disrespectful, they always keep their composure. But when we talk about Chimaev, he's the kind of guy that seems to be a little lost, talks too much. Right after my last fight, he said he wanted to fight me at this weight class. He knows right after the fight I could not make that weight. So I challenged him to fight at 205, he ran. So to be honest, if it's Whitaker or Paulo Costa, if the organization wants to put us to fight, it's my job to fight, but I don't even want to talk about Chimaev. Khamzat then replied to Pereira's comments on Twitter, "Don't be afraid, boy. I promise I'll make it real fast. See you soon." Khamzat then blasted Jorge Masvidal saying, "What's wrong with you, boy?" Then Khamzat posted this photo of him and Paulo Costa. Khamzat then trolled Gilbert Burns, then he took aim at Colby Covington. Khamzat finished by saying, "See you in Abu Dhabi," and he doesn't care who. During a recent interview, Justin Gaethje reveals to fans when he'll likely retire. Here's what he had to say.
It's just the fact of the matter that, I would say by 37, I would like to not be doing this anymore. I'm 34 now. And so, yeah, 3 years is a long time, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not that long. I've been doing this for 12, 15 years. Yeah. And so ultimately it is the back end of my career in this sport. That's just the train of thought that I had. We're so emotional after these fights that I wouldn't believe anything that we say for a week. But yeah, it was just my thought process after. Like, I'm not going to be here, forever. So I'm glad that you guys are here to enjoy this with me. I was really talking to the fans in that moment.
Jorge Masvidal claims that because Colby Covington has reported a brain injury from the incident last year, if he's allowed to fight next for the welterweight title, the UFC will end up getting sued. Here's what Masvidal had to say.
Oh, and by the way, to rephrase Morgan, I currently got 3 felonies because Colby says I gave him a brain injury. So how the f is he gonna fight for any title is what I want to know. How could you? The UFC's gonna get sued if that guy goes in there and something like that happens, right? Because supposedly, allegedly, because I didn't do. He says I gave him a brain injury. I didn't. So.
I wanted to ask you about that. There was a lot of allegeds about that day. Allegedly, you were wearing a COVID mask. Is that true?
Everybody knows I don't wear no COVID mask. So there we go. That's right there, bro. Allegedly,
it couldn't have happened.
Allegedly this, allegedly that.
Kelvin Gastelum wants to prove he's still one of the baddest dudes in the middleweight division. During a recent interview, Gastelum had this to say.
Absolutely, man. This fight for me is just I'm here to reaffirm to myself I'm still one of the baddest dudes in the world. And in turn, it's gonna let everybody else know, right? But here I'm here this weekend more as a reaffirmation, is that the word? To myself that I'm still here amongst the best. It was hard to get remotivated again and keep going through that again, get mentally motivated again, like, oh God, I gotta do this again. Like, it was hard, man. It was a hard year and a half, and I'm not gonna go into details because that's nobody's business, but it was hard. So I'm just happy to be here.
During an interview with Daniel Cormier, Gilbert Burns claims a good right hand will end Jorge Masvidal's career.
I have a couple ways. I think if the right hand's
The right hand lands because you
if the
throw it
high
so
hand,
hard.
if the right hand find his face, is over too, my brother. I think that right hand is one way. The grappling rest is another way. I have two ways to finish this fight.
Burns also claims he's not mad at Colby for claiming the next title shot.
I'm not mad at Colby. Dana is a good promoter. He put him in a fight that is gonna sell us a lot. I'm not mad.
Everybody seems to get mad at Colby though.
I'm not mad at Colby. Colby's doing his thing.
It's easy to get mad at Colby.
It's easy, but he's doing his thing. If they call me, if I'm 1 year not fighting, they call me, Dorian, one time I say for sure.
So you can't fault him.
I'm not mad at Colby. He's doing his thing.
Chael Sonnen breaks down the bantamweight division during an interview with the Schmo.
Well, that whole division, I mean, you're talking about 135 having a spotlight on it. It's incredible. You look at their biggest star appears to be Sugar Sean. He's put in the #1 contendership position. I just think that speaks really well to the 135 pounders. I think they should all, including Peter Yan, be very proud of what they've done. And it turns out with Aljo, he's a hell of a lot better than we knew he was. I mean, that's I don't have any other way to word it. The night that he took Sandhagen down and choked him out in 40 seconds, I chalked up to Sandhagen not being prepared for that position. It took the next fights with Sandhagen, seeing him in there with his most recent work with Cheeto, but I could even back it up to 90 fought Frank Yeager. That's when I start to realize, no, Sandhagen's really good. Aljo's better. And, seeing what Aljo did to TJ Dillashaw, nobody treats TJ Dillashaw like that. No, I don't care if he had one shoulder or no shoulder. Nobody treats TJ Dillashaw like that. Aljo's better than we knew that he was. And I think that Henry's aware of that. Henry is the ultimate competitor. Some people say he's the ultimate fighter, the ultimate athlete. He's at least the ultimate competitor. But I think that somewhere along the way, Henry probably had the same realization that I had, looking at Aljo going, man, that cute young kid from New York is one hell of a cage fighter.
Dana White slams reporters during the UFC 287 pre-fight press conference. Dana first refused to answer any questions surrounding the merger between the WWE and UFC. Here's the clip.
I'd rather not talk about that right now. We can talk about that another time. But yeah, obviously, it's exciting for the company and everything else. But this is about these guys right now. Not that.
Dana White grew agitated with reporters following a question directed at the altercation between Masvidal and Kevin Holland.
Absolutely nothing. There's nothing to talk about there. It's just some fighting, cloud chasing, so ain't nothing to talk about.
Nah, that's not what you were saying yesterday, bro. Watch your mouth.
Kevin, I'm curious, what is the issue there?
I called him baby
what's
girl
the
and he got
question?
mad.
Guys, come on, these two aren't even fighting. Knock it off.
All right, okay.
Do you have a question about the fight, who these guys are fighting, or you just want to start here?
A question for the Trailblazer, Kevin Holland. WWE, UFC merger, one umbrella. Past or present, professional wrestling. If you could take one person with a steel chair to the skull, who would it be? Or UFC fighter, wrestling ring.
No comment. I'm trying not to get in trouble.
Thank you. Any other stupid questions?
Guys, thanks so much for checking out the video. If you like the content we do here on this channel, don't forget to like and subscribe to MMA Library for all the latest MMA and UFC news. We'll see you in the next video.